What's up, guys? I thought I would give you guys an update on what's been going on in the Musou world. Some of it's good news, some of it's bad news. The good news is that Wonder Piero, he released a video showing a mod for vanilla DW8, which would allow for a null affinity. As you know, I made some videos about that on the PC version, but it crashes too often. It's nothing really groundbreaking just yet. We don't know when or if it will work on the PC version. He has not even tested it out on XL on PS3. Right now it only works on vanilla DW8 PS3, but it's going to be pretty cool if that happens. I may go ahead and hit him up. I still have my digital copy of DW8 vanilla. I may hit him up and use that to kind of revitalize this channel. All of my numbers have tanked because of all the problems I've been having, but by the time you see this, things should be a-okay, or at least not close to it. I found a really nice place that's going to do an estimate, and it's going to be a lot cheaper than the other group that I was going to go with. The bad news is Samurai Warriors 4-2, that game just seems like a total rip-off right now. It's like about a month away, and there doesn't seem to be much of anything to it at all. There's one new character who admittedly looks pretty cool. He's kind of got a Basara Nagamasa vibe to him with the rider kicks and the really stylish moves. But besides that, there's not much. There's like the infinite castle mode, which may or may not be a good mode. I think, in my opinion, unlimited mode, despite the problems that I had with it, or gauntlet mode rather, that's definitely one of the best post games that they've made in a recent Musou game. There's actually a purpose to playing it. You know, the loot that you get is pretty good. You know, you can make characters really broken. You know, if you get a good, once you do like one run through, you can power up other characters pretty fast with the orb system. I don't really know. I have my doubts that this infinite castle mode is going to be anything like that. It may just be one of those things that you play for an hour and lose interest in. It may actually have some longevity, but right now it doesn't really seem like much. My biggest problem with the game is that they're charging full price for that. I think that's pretty shady, considering their competition. Basara 3 Utage was a huge expansion. It added a whole bunch of modes to play. It added like 10 new characters. They did some balance tweaks. They made some of the weaker characters stronger. The stronger characters weren't messed with too much. I think compared to that, they really need to do a lot to their expansions to increase their value and make it worth it, especially if it's going to be charging full price. I think Squillo said he's interested in getting it. I'm not going to promise anything. If I do play it, it'll probably be for a really reduced amount of time, kind of like the original game. I think whether that game is worth it or not is all going to come down to the skill system. They have not said anything about that. They've shown a couple of screenshots and they wrote like a couple sentences about it, but there may be some juicy stuff in there. We don't really know yet. I imagine probably like more than half of it is going to be just, generic supplemental stuff, like, passive bonuses, like, maybe, your Musou increases faster, or you get a little health up or something. I hope that there's some cool stuff in there. Obviously there's not going to be any new charge attacks. They would have said something by now. I think that really would have helped things to make the game, worth buying. Those movesets are over 10 years old at this point. The majority of them are over a decade old. The last time that they got a major revision, unless you count the Agi system, which didn't really actually change the moveset, just kind of changed the way that you could combine it. Last time they, actually did anything to those movesets was way back in like 2006, 2007 when Samurai Warriors 2 XL came out. I hope that there's some cool stuff in the skill system, maybe something that will make it so you can use the Godspeed attacks on officers. I think they would have to put in some kind of balancing limitation. Maybe you have to juggle them in the air or something, or they can make it after a certain combo or something like that. I think that would at least make things a little more interesting. Godspeed already you know, pretty much took over the entire original game. But I think being able to use it on officers would make it a little more interesting. It would prevent all the just monotony from playing with the same ancient movesets. But anyway, that's your Musou news for today. It is the 18th. I'm kind of uploading this. It's going to be up like a week after I record it. But I hope you guys like this. I'm sorry for all the problems that have been happening. It's just been kind of rough lately, both on and off the channel. I expected Closers Online to be a really big project, but it ended up being kind of not as much as I thought it would be because of the poor optimization. But when or if that gets fixed, I'll go back to it. Peace.